For lovers of the supernormal and or comics, this wonderful book by Dr. Jeffrey Kripal, Mutants and Mystics. And what's great about this is he's a professor at Rice, and yet he is doing this really great comparative religion / mythology look at comic books. And Ken Kesey said that comic books were the great American mythology. And I think it's true. I think a lot of what we can learn about the U.S. is in these. And this is what it says about the spiritual awakening that's happened over the last century or so, as well as what this has to do with entities and things like that. And the end of the book talks a lot about Whitley Strieber, who he actually wrote a book about entities with. And Strieber is the one who wrote Communion, which is one of the first great entity books. But the thing I'll share from this book, just to whet your whistle and pique your interest, he breaks it down into 7 parts of the super story that you see come out in comic books about mysticism and supernormal powers and the entities that are somehow interacting with us. And so the first one he talks about is divinization or demonization. And that's about how all through human history, there have been these angelic or demonic forces that come and interact with us. And you see this coming up in the earliest tales, as well as the super hero comics of the very beginning. Number 2 is orientation. And that's often how things are set in a galaxy far away, or to the east was another one that was very popular, always to the east. Then number 3 is alienation, and this is about the vast reaches of outer space and the other in the very metaphysical sense of it. Number 4 is radiation, and how often that played into how beings got their superpowers in comic books and things like that. Then there is mutation, and how that radiation is changing us. Then number 6 is realization, when the author or the artist or the reader starts to realize that these paranormal events that they're talking about are actually real. Spooky and weird and hard to get your hands around, but real. And then finally is authorization. And it comes to one of Kripal's big ideas, which is that we are writing a story about ourselves. We are the ones writing it, or someone else is writing us, but we have something that we can do about it, and something about what our writing does, which says a lot to me as a writer. It's very intriguing, but that we can change a story that's being told, and that's what authorization is about. So this is not an easy book to define, but it is a wonderful piece of work if you're interested in the supernormal or the history of comics in the US.